Hello again. So we missed yesterday. I missed yesterday. And I'm going to do 2 readings today. I'm only going to do one now, and I'll do the other one later today. So if you're with me live, do go ahead and say hello and comment below. And I would love to pull some cards for you at the end of this. I'm going to try to make this fairly quick. Today's reading is from the book called Be the Change. Change the world, change yourself. And it's hundreds of people reveal how they find meaning and transform their lives by helping others. And the book was edited by Michelle Nunn. So lots of different quotes and stories and perceptions and things like that are in this book. And I actually bought this book many years ago. In fact, this book is from, when is this book from? This book is from, let's see if I can find out really quick. 2006. Yeah, 2006. So let me get into it. Again, the very first page that I opened up to is really good for today. So I'm reading page 124 of this book. It says Reflections and has a picture of kids on a playground. Yeah, I have some thoughts to share on this afterwards. So here we go. Reflections. We have celebrated inspiring, hopeful, and unexpected returns of service. But it is important to note that in trying to repair the world, we face the reality of suffering, overwhelming need, and bitter walls. There will be inevitable disappointment and despair. A friend of mine has been volunteering in a low-income neighborhood for almost 15 years. He has seen new initiatives for helping the neighborhood come and go. Playgrounds built and then left to fall into disrepair. Corporate and federal partnerships announced and then abandoned over time. He has coached a baseball team of young boys from his neighborhood and watched them grow into men. Many of them have met violent deaths or ended up in prison. How do we reconcile ourselves to our individual and collective failures to effectively meet the needs of our neighbors? What do we learn and how do we sustain hope? My friend has grappled with issues of race, privilege, and societal ills, and he has wrestled with them as personal and community demons. He keeps trying and he perseveres, against the odds and against the evidence. Perhaps our greatest victory is in sustaining the struggle and asking others to join us in solidarity of action and reflection. And it looks like that was actually written by Michelle Nunn. And she makes a lot of really good, I think she does a great job summarizing what a lot of us, our minds may go to initially when we see things change and then we see something else come through and sort of wipe it right out. And this is certainly one perspective to have. I want to share another though, because I do see how we can even choose a more hopeful and inspiring perspective of this as well. One of the words she used in here, how do we reconcile ourselves to our individual and collective failures? Well, one is that's a belief right there. So it to perceive something that's changed as a failure, that's one way to look at it. There are other ways to look at it. We could always look at things as it served a purpose in the time that it was being created. And for those who are involved in that project, like let's say, what's the first one they say here? Playgrounds built and then left to fall into disrepair. So at the time that playground was built, I bet you it served a huge purpose, right? It was rewarding for the people who were able to create it. It was rewarding for the people who now had it to play on, for all the parents who now had an additional place to bring their children to, so their children can play and they can relax. And I'm sure it didn't fall into disrepair immediately, probably happened over time, right? And over time, things change, people change, circumstances change. And we are all here on our different and yet linked together life journey, right? And we all have things to learn in our life, things that we're going to learn. And do we, that playground, by it going into a state of disrepair, could have been essentially moving into its next phase of how it's going to serve the next group of people that are going to come back around and and learn something from that. Be able to go, wow, there's this playground in my neighborhood. Maybe it's time for some new people to be able to feel the joy of saying, I want to take care of this. I want to have something I want to feel accomplished and fix this playground. Maybe it's for some people to go to feel not everything that is unpleasant has to be bad. In fact, I don't think any of it's bad. But nevertheless, that doesn't deny how things that feel unpleasant are unpleasant, right? And even things that feel unpleasant, that's a perception as well, because someone else may think, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm just trying to point out that this is another area where we can hold beliefs about something and think that something is wrong, that something is bad, because it has changed. And what else was in here? So that's one thing I wanted to say about it. Secondly, I think it's also about, one of the perceptions I have of this world is we're constantly, while we're improving here, then there's other things over here that, take our attention. And it's kind of like this dance. It's kind of like this back and forth dance. And I think over time, which may be at some point when we, right, you watching this, me creating this, are no longer even here to witness it. So I'm not saying to neglect what has become in disrepair or has changed is unpleasant. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying there could be another way to look at it that would actually serve the way we view how things do change over time, and how no one person is ever going to be able to give all their, I never say never, right? I do believe everything is possible. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to say this, is that it's important to learn to discern, where am I going to spend my attention, right? So while you may see a playground that needs some love and care and could use some repairs and may feel bad about that, and then you see the other, event that happened over there that's like, oh my gosh, those people just were in, an awful event, right? And these people over here, they're going through that hardship. And then you may start to think that you're supposed to take on all of it, and learn that no, we all serve a purpose, and we can hold the space for, what? I look forward to seeing that playground become repaired at some point. And you know what? I'm gonna say a prayer, send some positive, loving thoughts for those people over there. But what's of most important for me at this time is to actually focus my energy on whatever is your top priority, whatever may really speak to you most. It's okay to do that. And it's also okay to acknowledge other things could use some loving care. I feel like I may have gotten a little off track, but I hope this is also helpful, because I think when there are a lot of things that seem like they're going wrong, going down in the world, it can be easy to be discouraged. And by bringing it back home into you, what's that quote? To the world, you may only be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. That can be enough. Or let me ask you, can that be enough? So this is certainly a conversation that could go on and on and on. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to say about that. Oh, yeah. So just the part at the end there, perhaps our greatest victory is in sustaining the struggle. Sustaining the struggle. And I thought, what? I was like, no, we don't want to sustain the struggle. And I was even like, let me just fully, I know what sustain means, but let me look that up. Let me just see what other definitions there are for it. So 2 definitions come through if you just type in sustain on Google. The first definition is strengthen or support, physically or mentally. The other one is to undergo or suffer. And those are the uses of sustain as a verb. And I just want to look at those focuses. So to strengthen or support a struggle, I would say we can support someone moving through their struggle. But the way I first read this is as if we need to embrace that there always has to be a struggle. here are my thoughts on that. There will always be struggles, as we are all in process. We are all learning. We are all growing. And so another way of saying that is there will always be challenges, because we don't necessarily have to learn our lessons by going through struggle. Think about that, right? So we have challenging times, we have struggles, and they teach us something as we move out of it. But do we always need to have the struggle in order to learn something? No, we don't. And at the same time, if you are experiencing struggle through your lessons, don't get too down or hard on yourself. It happens. But it's one of these things that as we grow and as we learn and we start to understand how we can do life a little differently, think differently, be more proactive, or respond to things differently. All of it, everything that happens in life, right? We can do things differently. And when you start to be able to identify the signs of a struggle that may be in the process of getting created, right? Then we can start to shift things, be a little more proactive, and at the same time, not everything's in our control. So it's about, to what degree can we do what we can do, and then also sit back and, and to some extent surrender and know that not everything is on our shoulders. Anyway, I could seriously go on and on and on. And but I hope me sharing some perspectives on this has been useful for you. And I'd love to hear your. I don't think there's a right or wrong way, but there are perspectives that can support us in being able to enjoy our life experience more. And I think that's where we get to come in and we get to support each other as we are these beings who are in process. Understanding that life is going to ebb and flow. And it always does get better. It does. So that's what I wanted to share here from this book. I probably got this years ago at, I don't know, it was either in an airport or maybe like Target or something like that. Let's pull some cards really quick. Law of attraction. One of my coaching certifications is as a certified law of attraction coach. And so there were law of attraction components that were coming through as I was thinking about that passage. And I didn't really get into that in sharing, but because of that, I'm going to go ahead and pull a card from the Abraham Hicks Wellbeing card deck. So let's go ahead and see. Let's see what law of attraction message wants to come through. Wants to come through in this moment. Okay, I think it was this one. To allow well-being, I must be in joy. To allow well-being, I must be in joy. And the backside says, in the same way you cannot set your radio tuner to 98 point, you must set your own vibrational tuner to one of well-being. Feelings of love, joy, passion, exhilaration, fun, interest, etc. are indications of your vibrational match to well-being. So what's the connection with this and the passage I just read is, again, about where, so this is talking about being in alignment. What are you in alignment with? Are you in alignment with seeing it as a struggle? Are you in alignment with accepting that things actually do fail? Or are you in alignment with seeing that there could be another purpose? Seeing that, this thing, these people, this situation is going through some changes, is in its next evolution. And if you feel called to do something, what can you do about it? And I hope this is making sense. I am a huge fan of supporting one another and helping and making a huge positive difference in the world. And as someone who has felt this way my entire life, and if you do too, let me know. I've also learned there's an importance of boundaries and self-care, and alignment is huge. And one of the best ways you can serve is by being in alignment with what truly serves you, and then taking action on what comes next through that, right? So hope that makes sense. So that was that card. Let's pull maybe 2 more cards here really quick, and then I will be back later today. Okay, we're gonna pull an inner peace card. Okay, inner peace cards. What's the message that wants to come through for everyone who watches this video? Some inner peace cards. Inner peace feels really good, right? It's really good to be mindful of what feels good. What is your body telling you? What is your body communicating to you? Really good to pay attention to that. Okay. I still love this. Okay, so here we go. The front of the card says, I develop a positive state of mind. I develop a positive state of mind. And the back says, the state of your life is nothing more than a reflection of your state of mind. The state of your life is nothing more than a reflection of your state of mind. Yeah, again, talking about what are you tuning into, right? It can be really easy to automatically tune into whatever we see and allow that to overcome the state of our mind, and allow that to be the direction that we go in. And it really takes effort, deliberate effort on our part, to shift that and say, no, I want to create something different. I want to experience something different. And so we're going to make a shift. We think that what we observe is necessarily the truth of something, and yet there can be another truth. There can be something deeper. There can be something more. And even it takes courage. It takes strength to allow yourself to open up to seeing things from a different way. It really does. And to be able to flip that switch within you. Yeah. So if that's you and you're on that journey, I'm seriously clapping for you. Good job. Stay with it. Keep going. Let's go ahead and pull a power thought card as you are on that journey moving forward. Here we go. What message wants to come through for everyone who views this video? Hello. Is there a message for us? Nothing's popped out yet. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. Everything I touch is a success. How's that for a power thought card? Everything you touch becomes a success. Everything you touch becomes a success. To yourself 10 times a day. How about 10 times every day this week? Everything I touch becomes a success. That is wonderful. I love it, love it, love it. I hope you do too. If you'd like to connect with me beyond YouTube, you're welcome to visit me over at KimO'NeillCoaching.com. I have links for my social media on there, and you can also book a free coaching consultation and check out other services I have. I thank you for being here with me today. I'll be back later today, and we're going to do this again with a different book, some different cards. We'll see what happens. Okay, have a wonderful day. Bye.